by ignoring what Chris Benoit has done because of his murder-suicide. The WWE has started a terrible trend, in my opinion, that basically is telling the wrestlers, don't do anything stupid or else you'll be forgotten in history. Chris Benoit murdered his wife and his son and then killed himself. And in doing so, you have to dig deep into the WWE's records to even find anything about him. It may have been easy to do with Benoit, but what about Stone Cold Steve Austin? What about The Rock? What about here's a going for you, Bradley. What if tomorrow The Undertaker were to do something? The Undertaker. Or if well, okay, that's a little too extreme. If every single wrestler did it, then we'd have a problem, but The Undertaker, 18-0 at WrestleMania. Is it 18-0? Yeah, it's 18-0. Try ignoring that. Try ignoring an 18-0 record. Try ignoring countless world championships, countless tag team championships. Try ignoring the Brothers of Destruction. The Ministry of Darkness. Yeah. Try ignoring the fact that he was introduced Survivor Series of 1990 by current Hall of Famer Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase. You know, you can't ignore history for too long before people start asking questions. Why is it not being mentioned? Why is this person being ignored? If too many of the if some of the mid-carders, I'm going to use Chris Benoit as a mid-card because he mainly fought for like the mid-card titles. If they can ignore Chris Benoit, what's going to happen when one of their quote-unquote bigger superstars were to do something? Then what? I want to try to see what would happen if Hulk Hogan or The Rock or Stone Cold or Andre the Giant. Yeah, I want to wish them luck on that. I would like to see them try to erase Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant or The Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Undertaker or Shawn Michaels or Triple H or anybody like that if they did something dumb. They can't even... They can't even ignore Chris Benoit fully, which is a good thing, but they're trying, and that's unfair for anybody who's friends with Benoit. Can you imagine if Eddie Guerrero were still alive today? Imagine if Eddie Guerrero were still alive today, if he knew that Benoit was being ignored. Eddie and Chris were literally like this, because they wrestled together like everywhere. Yeah, ECW, WCW, WWE. I believe they wrestled in Japan together too. And imagine if Eddie were still alive. What do you think he would say? What do you think Eddie Guerrero would say today if he knew that Benoit was being ignored to such an extreme that history is more or less being deleted. It's hard to imagine what he would say, but it's still, yeah, it's still completely unfair for the WWE to ignore Benoit. I mean, I guess in a way, though, it could be worse because they know that Jeff Hardy is going to be on trial soon for all them drugs that he had. They're still mentioning him in history. So, I don't know. It's just really hard to imagine what would happen. But I would love to hear how I would if any of this is a complete long shot. I'm going to look directly at the camera for this. If anyone involved, if any of the WWE superstars, past or present, who worked with Benoit, at any time see this, I want you to comment. I want you to comment if or on how you feel about Benoit being ignored. Please. I want to hear you. I want to hear your thoughts on it. All right?